Hey everybody, I'll give this a try again. Sorry for the multiple notifications of a stream, but seems like something is not working. I'm not sure what. I went through and reset everything in my network. Uh, I've been having problems with Comcast lately. Really, the my internet has been acting all kinds of wacky. So I went to that right away, but that didn't seem to fix anything. So all of my routers and everything else all got reset. And it looks like I have okay now. 6 megabit up and still dropping some frames, but yeah, hi. I haven't been streaming in a while, so happy Veterans Day to everybody. If anybody doesn't know, yes, I am a veteran. Served 8 years in the United States Marine Corps. So, in honor of Veterans Day, I donned my old uniform, which actually fits amazingly. So yeah, Veterans Day. I hope everybody had a good Veterans Day. If you had off or anything, um, I think that's a kitty cat coming down my sidewalk. Um, yeah, if you know any veterans, thank them, talk to them, speak to them, check in on any veterans that you haven't talked to in a while. If you have any friends that are veterans or family members that have served, some veterans are just they're not okay. So check in on them, make sure everybody's okay. Say hi, say Happy Veterans Day, all that stuff. But to the work at hand. So here I have a framework. So we're going to be working on a framework today. This is the anti-Apple. So this is the framework. I really like this company. I really like this machine. It's well put together. It's well built. They have some great philosophies. They have some great things going on over there. Some cool stuff with everything with their laptops. Parts are readily available. They're decent price. They're not ridiculously overpriced like other things. It's a pretty well built, well put together laptop. But any well built, good put together laptop is susceptible to liquid damage. Liquid gets everywhere and it destroys everything with electronics. So, a replacement board for this is not hard to get. You can go right to the company, right to framework.com, and order a replacement whole logic board for this. Everything's like a traditional computer. Your RAM and SSD are removable. So if you get a replacement logic board, you just take your SSD out, pop it in the new one, you're up and running again. They're kind of expensive. This is the 13th gen Intel Core i7 in this, and a replacement board's about $550. So it's not malfunctioning that bad with the liquid damage. It's just not charging the battery anymore. So I think I can fix this for a bit less than $550. So let's take a look at this. Let's get this opened. The main feature of the frameworks is the configurable ports. So you get to choose what ports you want on the laptop. You're not frozen into like MacBooks where you only get USB-C ports and that's all you get. So they have these little modules. We're going to start by taking these little modules out because now is just the time to get them out. You need to take them out to take the logic port out. So I'll push down on this little button in the middle of them here and just slide them out with a fingernail. And here's a USB-C port and a micro SD card reader. And then on the other side, you have two more. What we have here, we have an HDMI. And we have a USB-A, standard USB-A. So you get to configure the ports however you want, which is really cool on this. The only port that's permanent on this is the headphone port. So you always have a headphone port. There is an upgraded headphone port. I'm not sure exactly what it does. It gives you maybe optical out. I'm not sure. I never looked into it. But yeah, you can get an additional headphone port out of it, some kind of audio card or something like that. So now let's get the screws out. So it's a standard, nothing security or anything, just a standard T5 screwdriver. The screws for the back are captured, so you can't lose them. They won't come out, they won't fall out, or at least they shouldn't. I guess you can probably stress out the little capture mechanism, and this one is captured a little bit closer, it seems. I don't know if that's on purpose, but it does help you separate the keyboard a little bit. So this opens like the really old MacBooks and a lot of other computers do. The keyboard's going to come out towards the monitor. We're going to open this up, and the keyboard's going to lift out of this. Just get a fingernail around the whole thing. Now the keyboard's coming out. Now you have to remember that it's connected to the logic board. So there's a big old cable in here and a nice big thing for you to grab a hold of to lift it off. So I'll show you that. Big old cable, big old connector, and they have this nice tab that's sitting off to the side. It's marked orange, so you know where you're reaching for. They have guides on how to do this on their website and everything. And you just pull on this tab and it lifts that right out. So there you go. We got the keyboard out of the way. And now we can see everything inside here. So unfortunately, my customer did take this apart himself, and he cleaned off all the liquid damage, all the corrosion on it. Kind of a good idea, kind of a bad idea. It's a good idea if it's really light, but yet it's still a bad idea because if it's not working, I need to see where the corrosion was. Best thing you could do is take pictures. So he didn't take pictures of the liquid damage, but he did take pictures of the board and the areas that were liquid damage after he cleaned them. And he explained to me exactly where it was damaged. He circled the areas on the pictures. Humongous help. You can't clean off the board to crystal clear and then expect a technician to try to find what's wrong with it. Because all of that little corrosion, even if it's just a little bit on the side of one of the chips, that's a clue that tells me I got to look at that chip. That's a suspect. That might be what's causing the problem. But he described it enough, and it's malfunctioning a little enough. You know, it's only not charging the battery, so we should be able to figure this one out. So now we go into the inside of it. Get you an overhead view of the machine. So this is the logic board here. Everything's normal screws. Everything's like kind of color-coded, size-coded, all this stuff. You can go on and get guides from them and everything. The logic board screws are all the same size, all the same color. You even have 3 extra screws here. These screws are doing nothing here. They are just here as extras. If you lose one of the screws for the SSD, you have an extra SSD screw. If you lose one of the board screws, you have an extra board screw. If you lose one of your bottom screws, even though they're captured in the bottom, you have an extra screw here. And let's see. Yeah, I believe the one that I was talking about over here in this bottom corner here, it pushes up on the keyboard when you unscrew it, and that's by design. That helps release the keyboard so that you can get either a plastic tool, or I just use my fingernail under it and run your fingernail around. So this is actually made to pop the keyboard out a little bit in this corner to help you get this out. Amazing. Amazing what you can do with a little bit of engineering. Okay, so now we need to get this logic board out of here. So we just go after these screws here. There's only 5 or 6 of them around the outside. Around the outside. Around the outside. A couple connectors we have to disconnect. Always, these are the USB-C ports that the modules are plugging into. The modules are in the corners like that. So you need to make sure the modules are out of here, or else you're going to be pulling up on the USB-C ports of the modules. Okay, what else we have to take out? We have to take out the Wi-Fi card here. Wi-Fi screw is captured into this plastic cover here, so you can't lose that smaller screw. Pull the Wi-Fi card out of its M.2 type slot. We'll just release the wires, put it off to the side. Now we have a couple connectors. The battery's already disconnected. The customer left it disconnected. We have a speaker connector here. Pop that out. We have a I/O board connector here. So that's just this locking bar with a fingernail, and this should slide right out. There you go. A fan is going to come out with the board, so we can leave that connected. We have a display. So yeah, that's just this black tape here. Just lift straight up on it. There we go. And then over here, display and webcam. I'm not sure which one's which. This is the wider one's probably display, and this is probably webcam, microphone. Lift straight up on that. Pull that out. Now we could lift the board out, I believe. Yep. So there's our framework board. I'll get the machine out of the way. So another cool thing about this, now if you're going to close this, make sure you tuck everything in. I'm going to close this and put it in a shelf. So make sure everything's tucked in and this isn't here or this isn't over here. I'm going to break the screen. So make sure everything's tucked in where you can still close it and not break the screen. Although the screens are reasonably priced. They're only about maybe $180, $200 for a new LCD, which is, that's a godsend price for most screens these days. Screens have gotten out of hand. So here's your logic board. You can upgrade your machine, your framework, with this entire new logic board. You can get an upgraded one with a better processor on it. And you don't have to just throw away this old logic board. They make a desktop case. It's either 3D printable. They have the files where you can 3D print your own, or you can buy one made by Cooler Master to plug this into and screw down this into an external case, and this becomes a desktop or just like a low-power computer for you. So all the liquid damage was on the back that he showed me. If we just take a quick look over some of the stuff here, things are still recognizable to me, working with other things. Okay, here's the area that was liquid damaged right here. Here's USB-C controllers. So I wonder if these, like, so they pride themselves on repairability, but repairability in a commercial module type sense. I have some of the schematics that we got when I worked for Lewis, but I don't have the schematics for this one or any of the newer ones. They do give schematics to companies. You just have to sign an NDA with them, and they will give you access to schematics. So if I don't have it right now, but I think this is going to be easy enough to repair. If I do need schematics, I can get schematics from them, which is absolutely spectacular. So the USB-C controllers, I wonder if these are just Intel. I would like to know if these are gettable. Let me get where's my clean Chrome window? See if I get a Chrome window up. I want to see if these are available. Window capture. There we go. And let's turn off. We don't need the overhead camera for this. So let's see. This is Intel S30. Let me zoom in here. S302 NN12. I just want to copy that real quick. And what do we got? This is coming up with Intel processor specs. It's not what I want. I want a USB-C controller chip. Nothing. That's a bad sign. Oh, I'm sorry. I took the wrong number off of it. That is the lot code, date code. So this chip is the JHL8040R. JHL8040R. And don't tell me, no way. No way. Dude. Are you kidding? I can just buy them. This is the USB-C controller chips. They're just off the shelf. I can just buy them. Oh my god. Oh my god, that makes me giddy. Oh, good on you, Framework. Holy crap. So just an off-the-shelf USB-C controller. No jumping through hoops. No having to find somebody that's willing to steal them off of the line in China. Just buy them normally. So if your module, if one of your modules goes bad that much, or you plug in something really bad to it, because I think like the USB-C one is just straight through. It's just a board that goes straight through, so it's USB-C to USB-C, which is great because if you ruin the port, you just buy one of these for cheap and you got a new port. But if you ruin the port bad enough, you're gonna burn out the control chip on the board, and then I can just buy them from a regular supplier and install a new one on there. That is absolutely spectacular. I love that. I love seeing that. This is the first time I ever looked this up. I'm really excited over that. Wow. Oh, that is so cool. So yeah, that's the USB-C controller. So in the MacBooks, this would be the CD3215, CD3217, and now the whatever the hell the new ones are, and they are damn near impossible to get. You have to get them from somebody in China, either through eBay or AliExpress that has either gotten some from some supplier, stolen them off the line, picked them up off the floor, and swept them up because they were rejected or something. That's the only way we can get the ones for MacBook. But these are just buyable. I can just go on a regular store and just buy them. That is amazing. And the WinBond here, this is probably the ROM for the for CDs. I'm calling them CDs for the USB-C controller chips. So that would be difficult. I doubt that they would give us a ROM dump to reprogram a ROM if this gets damaged. But this WinBond chip is a pretty hardy chip. It doesn't get corrupted easily. ROMs for these wouldn't get corrupted easily. But this could take a lot of liquid damage and still have something to connect to be able to read it and clone it to a new chip if you need to. It's rare that these would be completely burnt out. But here's the area in question. So you see that half of these capacitors here are nasty looking. One side of them looks terrible. So yeah, there's some yuck through here. MOSFETs, they look like they didn't get hit that bad. These resistors, that does not look good at all. That one looks fine. The MOSFETs look okay. There's just a general yuck about everything. Oh, Intersil. Ooh, they're terrible. So, well, they're not terrible. They make really good stuff. But this is the company, Intersil, that has all of the exclusivity agreements with Apple, and why we can't get so many Apple chips, because Intersil has paired with Apple, and they make the chips only for Apple, and it's the only way that anybody can get them is being Apple. So we can see if this one is gettable. This is probably the main battery charger. So that's the one thing that has bothered me the most on Apple is the PP bus battery charging chip. Is that Apple for some reason thinks that the way that they charge their battery is so special that you have never been able to get their charging chip from where are they? Yeah, all the ISL chips, which is Intersil's symbol. So the ISL 6259, ISL 9239, ISL 9240, these are damn near impossible to get. I don't know why that they think that they're charging, the way that they charge a battery and the way that they supply the main bus voltage is so revolutionary that nobody else can have it and nobody else can buy it. And we have to make our own. It's so revolutionary. It's not. You're charging a battery. Come on. The BMS is what's controlling the battery charging anyway. But let's see. So this is 9241H. 9241H. Let's see. Straight on Mauser. 9241H. Let's see if that comes up with anything. Battery management. Power management. Development tools. That's going to be probably a learning learning board for this, experiment board. We have 4 available. ISL 9241. This is it. This is going to be the chip. The battery charging chip. The battery charging chip. I can just buy one. Oh my, they're kind of expensive. $9 for a single chip, that's kind of expensive. This is definitely something that I would not want to try to keep in stock unless I'm actually getting... I'd have to see what the difference is, and if I had to change this on somebody's, I would definitely get a hold of the schematics and see which one it is, because there's multiple part numbers here. I'd have to see the data sheet and see what this T7A actually means, because it's the same thing. TQFN, yeah, TQFN, yep, same thing, same size. Yeah, so wow. So we can buy charging chips. This is the basically the PP bus and charging chip. I don't know what framework calls their primary power bus, but PP bus and battery charger right there, and you could buy it right from regular suppliers. It's absolutely amazing that this can be done. Oh, I hope this company survives. I hope they thrive. I hope more companies follow this. I doubt it'll ever happen, but oh my god, this is so cool. So yeah, if this chip is bad, I could just go out and buy one. These MOSFETs are probably buyable too. Even Apple MOSFETs can be found. They're just regular MOSFETs most of the time. But these MOSFETs, what's a pain in the ass about... So since I've been working for myself, I've worked on a lot of Lenovo's and other machines other than Apple. And MOSFETs... You can buy them, but a lot of times by the time a laptop is in circulation and comes to you, these MOSFETs go end of life and get discontinued very fast. I don't understand why. It's a MOSFET. A MOSFET is a MOSFET is a MOSFET. You should be using MOSFETs that are 20 years old, for crying out loud. I guess junctions can be updated or whatever, but you don't need to update the part number. Just produce the same part number. Just give it a new chemistry on the inside if it has the exact same characteristics. Either that or provide us with alternative numbers, that's hard to find sometimes. Most of the time I have to buy some old stock ones off of somebody on eBay because they've been discontinued and end-of-lifed on regular suppliers. But I don't have schematics, so let's get in here with a multimeter and check some stuff. So, I don't have multimeter on the screen on this desk. I need to set that up sometime. But ohms, so first thing I don't like these resistors here. So let's see if these resistors are resisting. The resistors are resisting more than they should. Stop resisting. Stop resisting resistor. So this is a 4R7. So 4R7 on one of these. These are larger resistors. I'm used to dealing with stuff this small or smaller. This is a really large resistor. So 4R7 is 4.7 ohms. And this is showing 30.1 ohms. So that resistor is not right. This one too. Let's see that one. 77.7. That is supposed to be 4.7, and I'm getting 77.7. How about this one? 010. I think that is 0. Yes, it is 0. It's like 0.1, which this multimeter on this desk can't see 0.1. I'd have to go over to the other multimeter to see 0.1 ohms. This should be 0.2. It comes up as 0. So yeah. So that these look fine. Nothing got hit over here. It's 10 ohms there. So yeah, these two don't look good. All of these capacitors don't look good. So I want to try to identify, at least this one and this one look terrible. I want to identify what is the capacitance of this. So I'm going to take off this one capacitor. We're going to read this one capacitor and assume that the entire line is the same. That's what they usually do. The whole line is the same. And we'll see if we have replacements for the entire line here, because I don't like the way this one and this one looks, and this one. But this one's the best looking one, so we'll move that over. And we'll get these out of here. First, let me get my books. So I have books with new resistors and capacitors in it. So the capacitors look like they're going to be 603s. So let me grab the 603 capacitor book. I got 2 of them. I think they across different. And this is one that I made up for myself. This is actually a bunch of SMD LEDs, but in the back of it I have the 1206s because I still had space in here, and I didn't get a 1206 book. I made my own. So 1206 is a very large resistors as far as resistors that I usually deal with. So I need some 4.7 ohm. Let's get these out of here. A little bit of flux. That's way too much flux. That's Lewis levels of flux for that little thing. Some fume extraction. Some noise will come up. Hey, Q's. Hey, Pedro. Hey, this is the first time I looked at chat. Hi, everybody. Glad you guys showed up. I haven't streamed in forever, and I'm sorry about the multiple notifications you probably got because, yeah, my internet, something was seriously wrong in my network. I wound up having to refresh everything. I restarted my MikroTik. I restarted my my D-Link router. Restarted my cable modem. It seems to be working, but not really. I'm still dropping frames. Still have 526 drop frames. Not sure. I might have to lower my bitrate. My bitrate's at 6 megabit. I'm dropping frames right now as I say it. We'll just heat these off. And then I'm also going to test them on the bench and see what they actually are. And then this one is the one I want to test for how much capacitance it has. So I'm just going to move it over to one pad. So this is the ideal way to test one of these, because if you take this off and like put it to the side or try to put it on your mat, you're going to get your leads on it, and one lead's going to slip off, and the thing is going to go flying, and you'll never see it again. So you just put it on one pad like that, and it's not going to move anywhere. Now you can get your leads on both sides. You just have to make sure that the open side isn't touching anything that it can connect to, because it's going to affect your reading. But for capacitance, you have to read it out of circuit, because it's in parallel with all these other capacitors, so that's going to affect the reading. You're not going to get the correct reading in circuit. You get the reading for everything in circuit, but you can't get its individual reading. So let that cool off a little bit, because you also will not get the correct reading if your capacitor is super hot. Get some alcohol on there, get it to cool down. And then we'll put the multimeter in capacitance mode. And we will test this. Oop, that was bad. So yeah, I moved the damage side up, because that's the way it would have went. That was good. But the damage side is damaged, so as soon as I put a little bit of pressure on there, it just ripped the plating right off because it's damaged. So now I will show you how I hate to do one of these, because, yeah, I will probably wind up losing it completely. And also, if you could see, the metal of the tips are on my fingers. You don't want that when you're actually measuring. So I'm trying to stabilize these so that I can get in here. But then once I get contact with it, I need to get my fingers off of the metal, at least on one of them, because my body will change the capacitance reading. Okay, steady, steady. What do I have? I have 9.5 microfarads, so it's probably 10 microfarad. So this is 603, 10 microfarad. And I'm going to assume that all of these are the same, so we need 6 10 microfarad 603s to change out there. See if my books have them. So it's always good to have these books laying around. So 603, this is resistance still. I only go up to 1 microfarad. That sucks. Let's see if the other book is better coverage. 2.2 microfarad. Okay, it's closer. It's still not 10 microfarad. I might have to find them on a donor board. Let me see if I have a roll of these, because this has come up before. I've needed 10 microfarad. I've needed more than what the books have from time to time. And I bought rolls of some of these. Now, all my rolls are 201s. They're tiny, tiny ones. I don't have any 603s. That sucks. Okay, so we're going to have to find some to replace them because I'm not leaving those on there. So, how do we find them? We are going to have to find them on a MacBook board. So, what MacBook board? Let's go for a 1707. Because I have a lot of them that are pretty good condition. So, let me open this up. So here we have a 1707 board, and we're going to search for a part. I'm finding a part. This is going to search all of my schematics. I don't want to do that. So let's search the schematic itself for 10 microfarad. So open the search box. 10 UF. And we're looking for something that's, you see this is 402, that's too small. Hope you could read that. Okay, what's next on this? N. That doesn't help, that doesn't help, doesn't help, doesn't help. Nope, go away. What's this? 402, 402, 402, damn it. 402, 402. The find a part helps a lot because you can specify 10 UF and 603. Then it's just going to search a bunch of things, and I only want to search this one board. So I'm waiting for one of these numbers to be 602, or 603, I mean, instead of 402. Probably could fit 402 ones there, but they're probably not the right voltage because there's only 6.3 volts for 402. 603 is going to be like 15 volts or 20 volts. Oh, wait. I got them. 10 UF, 35 volt. Okay. Where are these? They're all over? Okay. Oh, cool. Okay, so we got 4 of them each on each board, probably 8 of them on each board, because these are around the audio amplifiers for a 1707. All right, so let's get some 1707 donor boards. Which this pile is nice and rich in donor boards. All right. So yeah, they look about the same. Yep, there we go. All right. Yeah, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got 8 per board. We need 6 on this board. All right, cool. So we got the right capacitors. Let's start with them. I will move over all the capacitors. Let's get this guy out of here. Okay, so the ones we're going after, they're a little bit different color. This is probably a different, what are these? X5R ceramics. that's different than the other ones. But these are going to be good. Oh wait, maybe let's make sure. Yeah, all 4 of them are going to be right. Yes, yes. Okay. So the ones we want, yeah, all 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll change them for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got these on this side, and then on the other side. These are all the audio amplifiers on a 1707 board. So now the fan is here. I want to watch out for the fan. Okay, so that's going like that. So let me see if I can get this whole view here for you. The little screen. So yeah, these are outside of the microscope. I don't see what I'm doing here under the microscope, so I don't need that to pluck them off the board. So I'll pluck them off the board here, and then I do need the microscope view to put them back down. So let's first start by getting all of these off of the board, of the damaged ones. Get a little bit of flux on there again. Let's see if I get that pad off, cleaned off. Yep, there you go. I'll put a little bit of fresh solder on them. I'll also hit up these. These little ones definitely were not as damaged, but they could use a little bit of brightening. While I'm here at this point, I'll also hit these pads with a little bit of new solder. Don't want to put too much. Okay, that all looks good. That one does not. It's taking too much. There we go. All right. Now we can start plucking them off the MacBook board. So to facilitate doing that, I'm going to turn the MacBook board so that the capacitors are facing the proper way. So I'm gripping them tall-wise. Put a little bit of flux on the MacBook capacitors. As you're putting them down, don't worry too much about straightness or anything like that, because we're going to put some new flux down on here and flow them all into place a little bit better than what they are right now. One more. Okay, I got to turn the MacBook board around. Get them from the other side now. So this is tricky. Yeah, I'm going to circle that with that. Because you don't want to heat up the board where you're going to then put your hand down on the hot board. Okay, I'm going to put the 2 new resistors as well before I flow everything into place. So we go to the actual book for this one. And that was 4.7. So here's 4.7. 4R7. These have a different numbering, but they just give you one extra digit. I'll open up the strip. Take out 2 of them. One and 2. I'm just gonna, with these, I'm just gonna tack it down in one corner, one side. See how terrible that joint is since it doesn't have any flux on it? I don't know if you could see that, but it doesn't want to really connect. The solder just kind of like, it just looks icky. It's kind of like sitting on it instead of actually soldered to it and connected to it. That's because of lack of flux. There's no flux down here at all. That looks like it's just like molded into it and not actually connected to it. We're going to fix that in the last step here, though. Just going to add a little bit of flux to everything that we soldered new. And we're just going to heat everything down all at once. The resistors, you need to make sure that they don't spin. The capacitors should all just line back up into place perfectly. The resistors might have a tendency to spin, especially the top one there. Yep, there it goes. Okay, this area looks great now. Let's do a little bit of Q-tipping, a little bit of cleanup. So this is also a stream to celebrate a small milestone for my channel here. I believe, hopefully, earlier today I needed 2 more subscribers to pass 3,000 subscribers. So I'm hoping we pass 3,000 subscribers soon. Let's see. Nope, still 299. Let's see what my actual count is. $2,999. I have 2,999 subscribers. I need 1 more subscriber to get 3,000 subscribers. Nice small milestone. So hopefully, yeah, framework. I haven't featured framework on my channel yet, so maybe this video will get some views from people that don't know me yet, and I'll get one more subscriber. And we'll do a little Q-tip of the charging chip too. Actually, we'll do a good inspection. Let's get this up on its side, and we'll look at the solder points sideways. Make sure that there's no corrosion between them or anything like that. Make sure there's no stress marks. No, this chip looks good. A little bit of stress marks in that one corner. This kind of looks like the old 1398 board with the graphics mucks. Those 1 and 2 pin right there on the from the left. Kind of stressed out a little bit. That's something to look for as years go by. Yeah, same with the 2 up here. This one corner seems like it might be getting a little bit of thermal expansion and contraction over the years. So that may be a problem in the future. These 4 pins in this corner here, they may start to separate. Let me see. Yeah, if you look at the second pin in, you can see that there's a bright spot right up against the chip, and then there's a dark line, and then a bright line after that. That is a stress mark. It looks much clearer in my eyesight, or my view, than what you can see on the camera. But that's what the 1398 used to look like with the U8900 fix. If you look way back in the day, you'll see a bunch of videos of me on Louis Rossman's channel fixing the U8900. I haven't had one of them in forever. Man, that was a great fix. But that's what happened, is that the thermal and expansion and contraction of the board would stretch and contract these solder joints on a chip just like this, and they would eventually fail. They would like separate apart, and the chip would separate from the board for one whole half of it. But yeah, that one corner kind of looks like that's what it's doing. So that might be something to look for years down the road with these. If they start failing for battery charging or the main power bus, that's probably it. It's that corner of the chip you got to resolder. Let's get that flux out of there too. And some flux travel. Yes, the good old shoe rubber chip. That's Apple's solution to it, is just put a piece of shoe rubber on the top of it so it pushes down on it from the keyboard. Yeah, that didn't work. We had ones that had been to Apple and then came to us, and we fixed it. Unfortunately, it wasn't a permanent fix. I had to tell people that too. We let people know that it's not a permanent fix. This is going to happen again a couple years down the road, and you're just going to have it fixed again. It's just resoldering the chip. And you had to be careful when resoldering the chip that you don't overheat anything, because the board is already moving in weird ways in that area. You can heat it too much, or you can't do hot air on it, because you could definitely heat it too much and separate the traces inside the board. This definitely does not look that bad, but it does show signs of that happening. Could be nothing. Never know. Let's just go over the rest of the board, make sure there's no other liquid damage showing anywhere. I'm so excited that I can buy these chips. Oh, there's some liquid damage here. Okay, I have a little bit of corrosion on 2 capacitors, some resistors here. We'll just scrub that a little bit. That doesn't look bad, so let's get an acid brush with some alcohol. So here I have an acid brush that I cut down the bristles on. And we're just going to soak that in some rubbing alcohol. I'm going to take some paper towels and put it around the board where we're not cleaning, because this likes to fling rubbing alcohol all over the place, and then the board looks like crap. Turn off my fume extraction. So now we have isolated, like we're doing real surgery on something. I'll just scrub this up a little bit. That's interesting that these are smaller resistors and they still have markings on them. I wonder if that's a thing that Apple does on purpose, that they even the larger resistors in Apple's machines don't have any markings. So I guess you can buy them. I wonder if there's any price difference between marked and non-marked 603 or 402 capacitors and resistors. And we got a good scrubbing, get a good Q-tipping. Yeah, I'm happy with that. That one capacitor does look kind of bad, though. Let's take a look at it. Oh, yeah, the plating's completely gone on the top of that. You can see where the copper begins because it's not there anymore. We should get rid of that. Should probably also get rid of this one. 1 RO, that's 1 ohm resistor. Let's see if that is actually 1 ohm. That is 1 ohm. So that didn't get damaged too bad. 2.2. Up is 2.3. That's perfect. And this I don't like. This I don't like. This I don't like. Okay, so it seems to be repeating circuit here, here, here. They're all the same stuff. So this one looks perfect. So let's get a reading off of this one. For this, I think I'm going to have to take the fan out of the board now. Because, yeah, I'm going to be heating right here along the fan. I don't want to accidentally melt the blades or anything, so let's see if that is that difficult. Kind of looks like it might be. I might have to take off the entire heatsink. Let's see. Let's disconnect the electrical connector. I'm hoping the fan is not part of the heatsink. The fan is part of the heatsink. Oh, well. Okay. Is that captured? I think that's captured. So we'll take the heatsink off, and he's going to be getting new thermal paste now, too. Better not have liquid metal in it. I will be highly upset if it has liquid metal under there. Is that captured? Tell me the heatsink screws are even captured? They don't seem to be wanting to come out. That's regular. The heatsink screws are captured. That's beautiful. The only one that there was one that wasn't Is there a thing for it? No, that one was not captured. Cool. Okay, probably a good thing that I took this off. There seems to be some splashing of something here. We'll take a look at that under the microscope. So yeah. Now we'll have to do thermal paste. That's fine. What are you? Oh, you're just grease from the thermal pads. Okay. That's all that is. That's just the grease leaking out of the thermal pads. That is fine. So let's get that moved to one side so we can measure what it's supposed to be and see if I have those capacitors. Okay, a little rapid cooling. That should be good. Change our multimeter into capacitance mode again. And we'll test this. It's looking like 10 microfarads again. It's actually showing 8.8. Reverse the leads, test it again. 9. Yeah, it's probably still a little too warm. So yeah, another 10 microfarad. I really need to buy 10 microfarad capacitors. So let's grab another 1707 donor board. How many do we have here? We only have 4. Perfect. Grab another 1707. All of these are missing. That side is there. Okay, good. Yeah, I need to just buy 10 microfarad capacitors because they come up a lot often. 2.2 and 10 come up a lot, and the books don't have them. I guess they probably get expensive towards the end there when you get to the higher ones, so the books don't put them in there. So here's our MacBook board. There's our capacitors. I will put the one back, and we will remove all of these other ones. So how is everybody out there? I haven't seen any of you guys in a while. I know I see some of you guys on Facebook every once in a while on Tim's old repair group. I almost never talk to anybody on Lewis's Discord server, but I am there. I am on Discord. Me and Hi meet on Discord quite often, and we play Rocket League. Let's get some new flux on there. I mean, solder on there. That's too big. Oh, well, thank you, Christoph. Thanks for joining. You're not a regular here. I haven't streamed in a while, so I don't really have regulars anymore. Although most of the people that that show up here know me from Louis Rossman's channel. Did I make 3,000? Ooh, let's see. Refresh. Holy shit, 3,001. All right, thanks, guys. Whoever's here, a new subscriber, welcome. Thank you. Just past 3,000 subscribers. Need to put a little bit more effort into here. I have a lot of videos recorded. I've gone ahead and recorded a bunch of videos about things. I just haven't had time to edit them and post them. Editing is the bulk of the production, the video production. I have live streams too. I record all my live streams. I've been wanting to edit them down and add some stuff to them and stuff. I have a great video that I recorded. I'm kind of excited to upload it, but I need to edit it, about dealing with liquid metal on the PlayStation 5. How to clean off and readjust the liquid metal thermal paste. Because it seems like people don't know how to do that. I service a lot of PlayStations here. These are all mostly, there's a couple sticks for stick drift in there, but this is mostly HDMI ports for PlayStations. I do a lot of PlayStation HDMI ports because it's not easy to do. It's heavy soldering. It's not something that if you don't know how to solder, you can do it. You need good equipment. Yes, my monitor, my poor monitor. I kept him from shooting my Seiki. So Louis hated this monitor. I don't know if you could see it in the... Yeah, you can see the reflection of the Rangers logo in the Seiki monitor. This thing, Louis hated it because its maximum refresh rate is 30 frames per second. So it's a 4K monitor, but only does 30 frames per second. So Louis hated it with a passion. I don't mind. I can care less. I'm looking at a static image of a schematic and board view. I don't care if it's 30 frames per second. It doesn't matter to me at all. But Louis hated it, and he hated seeing it on my desk even. He threatened to kill that very often. But I had a good side monitor here. This one's actually better. But I had a decent side monitor here, and yeah, that one got shot. Then also, like, 2 of the shipping monitors got shot. I was responsible for one of them, sorry. Yeah, that was a good old Dell monitor that I shot. I felt bad about that. Yeah, that was these. Thanks, Tim. We lost a bunch of monitors to this thing. We had 2 of these in the shop, and we had 2 of these in the shop. And yeah, the monitors were in peril in the shop for a while, so... I mean, for static stuff, for Word documents, for like what I'm doing here and everything, 30 frames is fine. Like, yeah, I can tell the difference in my the way my cursor moves across the screen. You know, like my big computer over there that I do all of my editing work on and everything, that thing has you know, the 3090 in it. That's the Dell server that I did the upgrade of 2 years ago. And that, yeah, that thing's 60 frames per second on everything. I think it's... No, that TV is not capable of 120. I've been wanting to try to pipe it up to my living room TV because I have a 70-inch that is 120 hertz capable upstairs in the living room. So I want to pipe the 3090 up there and do some gaming from up there to down here. I think that would be pretty cool. It's... Thank God I'm not doing monitor repair, Christoph says. You really can't do much monitor repair. So you can do, like, power supply stuff, Sometimes you have like Tcon board errors and stuff like that. But as far as TVs, monitors go, there's not much you can do to repair them. I've had a lot of people call me lately asking if I can do TV repairs, and my initial response to that is not usually. And then I ask the follow-up question, well, what's wrong with yours? Because if somebody broke an HDMI port, most likely I can do it. It might be difficult to find the HDMI port, but most likely I can do it. If it's not powering on anymore, it could be as simple as like a fuse or the power supply. Most likely I can fix that. Pain in the ass. I don't usually take it on, but sometimes I will if I have room and I have time. I'll take it on. But everybody's been calling for, oh, there's a crack in the screen. There's no fixing that. You if you crack your screen, there's no fixing it. Just plain and simple. There's maybe a few of the most popular gaming monitors or something like that. You might be able to find the LCD panel itself, but I almost guarantee you the LCD panel plus my labor to get that thing in and out is going to outweigh the cost of just replacing it. Especially, I just saw Walmart for Black Friday right now has a 85-inch Roku TV, TCL Roku TV for like $380. Are you kidding me? I'm not changing a panel. First off, the panel itself is like $200 to $300 just for the panel. I'm not doing that for $20. That's a $150 to a $250 job to get that thing in and out. I can't compete with a new TV price. There's no way. And yeah, if you could even find the LCD panel, it's almost impossible to find the LCD panels. That and backlights. Oh my god, I will never do a backlight again. I did my own backlight. I have a 55-inch TV that I really liked. It's an old Sharp 55-inch TV, and it was my main TV in my living room, and the backlight went out on it. So I'm a repair guy. I could do a backlight. Holy crap. That thing had my dining room table tied up for like a week trying to get that thing apart, and it's so delicate and so no way. I would never do that for money for anybody for anything. No way. Not ever doing TV backlight. And I suggest to anybody else, don't do TV backlights. It's insane amount of work, and it's so the slightest little bit of mess up and you're going to crack that panel and it's done. It's insane. I mean, if you do it, good on you. Holy crap, I would never do that. And if you do it, let me know, because especially if you're in my area, because people keep calling me and I need somebody to send them to. Like I don't do a lot of phone screens. I don't keep them in stock. I don't see enough of them, so I usually just send them to the guys in the mall. I know I don't know them personally, but I know the guy in Menlo Park Mall over here. He's got like every screen known to man there, and they seem pretty reliable. I've sent customers that I know over there, and they said they had a good experience. So, I've been meaning to stop in there and just introduce myself, because I do send a lot of people that way. Monitors are a nightmare. I had a Dell 49-inch ultra-wide. Oh, geez, the ultra-wide with intermittent flickering. Screw that. Flickering lines in random areas. Yeah, that's like swap the panel. That's like the Tcon board or something, probably. Wait, you swap the panel. You actually found an LCD panel for that thing, and you swap the panel. Yeah, I want to trust that. No, I would consider it maybe a loss leader if it wasn't so absolutely ridiculous to work on. And then I don't know where you would have found the panel for that. That's insane. That's pretty cool, though. Like the one of the TVs that I did work on, the guy bought a brand new TV, and bringing it home, taking it out of the box, he dropped it, and he just cracked the plastic bezel around it. And he actually went to, I think it was Sony. He actually went to Sony, and Sony sold him the plastic bezel for around the outside of the TV. They sold him it. Ridiculously expensive for just a piece of plastic. I mean, it was a big TV. I had to clear out the whole back over here and lay it on across two shelves and everything just to work on it. And yeah, they sold him the bezel. It was way too expensive. I charged them maybe like $75 or something like that to do all the work. Yeah, never again. That was a real pain in the ass. And the potential for more damage is just too high. But then this was only the plastic bezel. That's all it was. Okay, we got the old thermal pastes cleaned off. We're gonna put some Arctic MX4 on this. Just put a nice line right down the CPU. Heatsink screws are numbered, so I guess they want you to screw them down in an order. This is number 1. This is number 2. This is number 3. Number 3. Oh, you found a whole monitor with a dead power supply. Yeah, you see, and then you're doing double the work. You got to take the panel out of the other one and then put it in the new one, or put it in the customer one. And that didn't even do it too. So now you have 2 good panels. I guess you can sell them on eBay if you kept the thing from the customer anyway. But you have at least 1 good panel. You could sell the panel removed if you can figure out how to package it really well. You can sell that panel removed, and somebody might be thankful that they don't have to remove it from another monitor to change one. But yeah, you have to package that thing really well, because you can't trust shipping. Like local pickup only or something like that. All right, I am happy with the way this board looks. We are going to put this back in. I don't have a boot drive for it, but I'm hoping we can see it take charging amperage, and we can verify that it is charging the battery. I'll get the case out over here. Let's get the connectors out of the way. Wi-Fi cable out of the way. Slide it underneath everything. Get this cable up above it. Battery connector up above it. Okay. Give it a little wiggle, make sure it's all the way down in place. And now we can put the screws back. And guess what? 1 screw, same size, same shape, same depth. And I kind of pride myself on knowing where every single screw goes in a MacBook. Especially all the newer ones, they're getting even crazier with the screws. But all the older ones, I know exactly where every single one of the screws goes. I could describe it to you as you go along. Make sure that all the screws go back to where they belong, because it kind of matters on some of them. A lot of them, actually. Tuck the Wi-Fi wire back into its little rubber races. Plug that chip in. This cover's a little bit of a pain in the ass. With the wires plugged in, and they kind of like go around the wires. I guess you got to get it around the wires first and then slide it down the wires. I'm not sure. Yeah, this little cover's a pain. I don't know why it's like this. Am I trying to put it on the wrong way? Is that what? Maybe? Wire's got to go underneath it. There we go. Okay. That's a little fiddly. Plug in the speakers. Plug in the display panel. I'll make sure you line these up well before you push down on them. The audio daughter board. I don't know if this audio daughter board has anything to do with audio, or if it's just the headphone port. There's some circuitry on it. I don't know if there's a chip on the underside or not. Okay. Let's see. Let me get a USB-C port. We'll plug in a USB-C port. We will plug in the battery. Okay, and we'll plug in a MacBook charger to it. I have a blinking red light. Not sure what that means. It's negotiated 20 volts. It's not taking any charging voltage, though. I'm not sure what the oh, maybe the blinking red light is mad because I didn't plug in the keyboard. Let's unplug the battery. Let's get the keyboard plugged in on this. Because this is the keyboard, trackpad, and power button. Choking on my own rage here. Keyboard plugged in. Okay. Now plug in the battery. This also doesn't have a CMOS battery in it, so I'm not sure about that. Okay, I still have the same blinking red lights. Not sure what all that means. Might have to go and get a user manual. Okay, we got 20 volts and 30 milliamps. Try pushing the power button. The charger reset. I have 20 volts, 30 milliamps still. I have green lights now. The fan has spun up. Still have 20 volts and 30 milliamps. I have nothing on the display. The power button's lighting up. I have red blinking lights again. I did see the framework logo on the screen, though. Default boot device missing. That's fine. So I still don't see any charging. I think I'm going to have to maybe get a USB with Linux on it and boot to Linux and see if it'll start charging. I may have a bad MOSFET too. I should find out what the blinking red lights are, though. If I unplug this, does it go dead immediately? No, it is running off of battery. It will run off of battery. Test one, 1, 2. Hi. Hi, everybody. It looked like my batteries in my wireless mic receiver went dead, or were going dead. I have no idea why any audio company would make it do that as your batteries go dead. Like, that's your warning your batteries went dead. You're gonna scream out the audience. That's wonderful. So, I don't know when that actually started or what I was talking about, and now my mic seems too hot. Test one. That's better. So yeah, the framework. So yes, I looked up somebody commented too that there's an intrusion detection switch on the motherboard. So the blinking red lights means that the cover is not all the way down. I don't know if I could get that on overhead. So this little box that's right here next to the extra screws, that's an intrusion detection switch. So that's just letting the machine know that the cover's not all the way down. So now we have orange lights. So I guess orange probably means just charging, which it is doing. We have 20 volts and 2 amps going to the machine. So surprisingly, it's doing a lot. Like it's sitting here. It doesn't have a boot device, so it's sitting here in an error state saying boot device missing, and the CPU is hot, like really hot. The fan is high, and I figured the fan might be high because of the battery not working or something like that. But the battery is working. So I will wind it seems to be working properly. The charging seems to be working properly. I will somewhat close this up, and I will get a. Yeah, the cover's down now. I will get a bootable USB for Linux, and just get this to boot into Linux and see if it's running okay. Like once it's actually booted into an OS, if the CPU is not burning up like that, make sure everything's working good. Now their setup screen is very nice looking. Yeah, I don't know if this comes across on the camera. Their setup screen is quite nice looking. I don't have trackpad functionality though. So yeah, there's the boot manager. I'll have to put this module in with the USB-A and get a Linux distribution. Let me just see if I can do that on stream. Linux. Apple Service Diagnostics. Mac OS 10. Windows 22H2. I think this. One of them's Linux boot, and one of them's a Linux install. Let's try this one. Ubuntu. Now, Pedro, my microphone decides to make a stupid, annoying noise when the battery in the receiver goes dead, which is ridiculous. But beside the point, your iMac is probably ready to go dead. Oh, Pablo, what are the T-balls for. So when you take off a chip and you're reballing it, you want to be able to clean it in the ultrasonic cleaner before putting it back down. You put it in the T-strainer, and then you pop it into the ultrasonic cleaner. Don't ever, especially a chip that's important or anything, don't ever try to hold it in your tweezers and put it in the ultrasonic cleaner, because I guarantee you 9 times out of 10, you're going to drop it in that ultrasonic cleaner, and then you're going to have to drain the goddamn thing out just to find your chip. So pick up yourself some stainless steel T-balls, and that's how you clean your smaller parts that you, if you drop it, it's going to fall through the grate in the bottom of your ultrasonic cleaner. So the fan stopped screaming. Trackpad is working. The battery does show that it's charging. Ubuntu is trying to estimate the how long it's going to take for the battery to charge. It's at 34% right now. Let's see if it changes when I unplug it. It does register that it's not plugged in. I think that was one of the customers' complaints, is that it always says it's charging no matter if it's plugged in or not. So now it knows when it's charging, it knows when it's not charging. And now it's 20 volts and 400 milliamps. Before it was 2 amps. I guess the battery management needs to work up to that. But yeah, everything seems to be working on this. So yeah, just some simple scrub-a-dub. Clean up some stuff. Everything seems to be fine. It's booted up great. It's charging good. I'll wind up letting it charge to full, make sure everything looks good. But yeah, there's a framework repair. And I am ecstatic that those chips are viable. That is so cool. It shows you that it can be done. It, like, a lot of these arguments from these companies saying it can't be done. We can't provide schematics and board views to everybody. We can't provide documentation for everything that we make. Other people do. Why can't you? But yeah, good on framework for all this. This is cool. This is really cool. Any other questions here I didn't address? All right, 3,002 subscribers. Welcome 3 new subscribers. I will try to push more videos out for everybody. If you're a fresh subscriber, take a look at my old catalog. Some good videos on there, some good live streams. Hi, hi. Hi, 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 hi. Everybody say hi to hi, hi in chat. Yes, hi, hi. You missed the framework repair. So hi, hi. I don't. If this business ever really gets going, he will probably be my first employee if it ever happens. Although he is kind of far away to commute. But hey, he seems willing. He's one of the best all-around techs I know. I need to get his soldering better. He needs to work for me just to get his soldering better. All right, seems to be working. Let's try flipping the charger plug upside down, plugging it back in. Yep, seems fine to me. Charging current is kind of low right now, but I don't know if I should blame that on Linux, because when we were just in the before operating system, I'll probably go back there and try it again, but it was charging with 2 amps. Now it's only charging with a half an amp. So I don't know, I'll do a bunch of other testing, a bunch of other trying stuff. So, happy Veterans Day to everybody. Uh, so like if you weren't here for the beginning, yeah, happy Veterans Day. If you know anybody that's a veteran, wish them a happy Veterans Day, especially if you haven't talked to somebody, a family member or a friend that served in some capacity. Give them a shout out. Let them know you're thinking about them on Veterans Day. A lot of veterans are not in good places. Uh, the hells of war do that to you. The after treatment is not very good from the VA. The mental stuff and everything, it's not the best. So check in on your veteran friends. Make sure everybody's okay. Wish them all a happy Veterans Day. And yeah, reflect on what the veterans have done. I'm a Marine Corps veteran, 8 years. Left as a corporal in 2006. And this is the type of work I did in the Marine Corps was soldering, electronics repair. I did ground radio repair was my MOS, 2841 ground radio repair. So it was soldering and fixing circuit boards of radios. Hughes. I have a buddy of mine, he's a veteran, served Vietnam. Helped out so many veterans, awesome. Yeah, the VA makes it difficult. They're limited in funding, so they try to drop you out as fast as they can. If you really need it though, they're there to help. There's you can get help from them. But yeah, definitely check in on all your veteran friends and family members. Say hi, send a message, send a Facebook message, send an instant message, something somewhere. Say hi to everybody. So there, good repair on a not MacBook, the anti MacBook, the framework. Yeah, these seem like good little machines. It seems like a good company. I hope the best for them. I hope they can beat something out in the industry. Thanks for joining. Hope you enjoyed it. Now it's being weird. Now it doesn't look like it's charging again. I don't know. I don't know how their charging and everything works, so I'll figure it out. Seems like it's working though. Have a good day, guys.